We are in wine country, actually wine country in the Sierra foothills. I am with grape grower Ann Johnson of Walker Vineyards. And Ann, take us through where we're standing right now. And is this an undiscovered part of wine country?
Well, I like to think it is. We're in Dorado County, outside of the town of Placerville, above Diamond Springs at Walker Vineyard. This vineyard was put in by my parents in the 1960s and early 1970s. And my husband and I have joined in as of 2006 to work along my parents taking care of the vines.
Can you let us know where your grapes are ending up?
Sure. About half of our vineyard is planted to Zinfandel, and Boger Winery in Placerville is our main buyer of our Zinfandel. In fact, they have a Walker Vineyard designate Zinfandel label that they created.
Oh, that's great. I've heard and I read somewhere that this is kind of a sweet spot for growing Zin grapes. Why is that so?
I think it's a combination of our elevation. We're at 2,100 feet here. We're on a ridge above the Consumnes River. We get a great set of afternoon breezes that comes down through the ridge. And also our soil. It's an Auberry soil, and I think we just are in the exact great spot to grow wonderful Zin.
And wine country up here is a little different. It's a little more casual than, say, the Napa vibe. If you come up here and go to different wineries, kind of illustrate why it's maybe a little more casual.
Well, a lot of the wineries are family owned and operated, so you're very likely to see either the grape grower or the winemaker around the premises as you're visiting and doing your wine tasting. I think it's very approachable. We're kind of laid back up here in the Placerville area and don't take ourselves all too seriously.
I imagine this is hard work.
You know, you have to love being outdoors, and my parents and I, along with my husband, are still doing the majority of our own labor. So yesterday I was in the vines doing some shoot removal and disc budding. So you need to enjoy being outside and fresh air, and that is something I definitely enjoy.
And we do need to talk about the drought. Obviously, you need water to grow grapes. How has the drought impacted your operation here in terms of production and in terms of doing things maybe a little differently due to the drought?
Well, our production has been off by as much as 25% that we have attributed to the drought. And when my parents first put the vineyard in the 1970s, they had overhead sprinklers. Now we have converted since that time to drip irrigation, and we're utilizing our local irrigation district's irrigation management program, where they come out and read soil moisture probes and help us to figure out with evapotranspiration rates and crop coefficients exactly when we should be irrigating. So we've been relying on the irrigation district's data to help us know exactly when the vines need to have water and how much water we should give them. Wine grapes are unique in that most growers operate on the premise of deficit irrigation. So you're not irrigating to the full potential of the crop, but you're irrigating just enough to help the vine continue on developing the grapes, and that's when you get the best flavors.